Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Round 19 in the bag. Pretty average week, boys. Pretty average week. 12:45. Captained Walsh, which looked promising. But Broncos decided to play their worst half of football this season against the worst side of the comp. So, yeah, that ended up really well. He still ended up alright, so not too much to complain about there. But yeah, 12:45. I think I'll drop a little bit. I think I'll drop down to maybe 550-ish. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's quickly run over the round. So we'll go through quick fire like we normally do. We'll start from obviously the Broncos and the Titans. And we'll rip through. So yeah, obviously Reece Walsh, 79, captain, updated a little bit, which was fine. Tino off the bench for a 70. Yeah, he is going to be one to watch for the remainder of the season. If he's recovered from that injury, yeah, it's just going to be a matter of whether or not the Titans are in Bali mindset yet, already or not, because Hasler's moving on. The Titans are dead last. Yeah. I mean, they might fight for the spoon. Carrigan, 77. Karapani with a 33. This is like a pure case of if it's too good to be true, it always is in SuperCoach. I know people who put the captain on Karapani. I mean, you just can't pick it sometimes, you know. You're coming up against the best side in the you're coming up against the worst side in the comp. Broncos are firing. Ezra Mem's back in the side. Ezra Mem had an absolute shocker. You would have thought Karapani's going to cross over. You know what I mean? So that sucks. That hurts for people who captained him. Ezra Mem had a shit 23. He downgraded to 23. Man, I'm glad. I was so tempted. I was so tempted to bring him in, but I couldn't justify it with Jaden Campbell and Munster in my halves. I wasn't going to go down to either of them. I wasn't going to downgrade either of them, which I'm glad, because Jaden Campbell 59, AJ Brimson 45. Yeah, not much doing there. David Fafita with a 25 off the bench. He is cooked. Mate, the fall of David Fafita needs to be studied. I know there's been injuries and stuff like that, but we were not talking about him being the clear out-and-out best back row in the comp 2 years ago, and now he is just nowhere to be seen. Yep, moving on. Eels and Panthers. Panthers 32-10. Lomax top scored for the Eels with an 86. The rest of the side is pretty irrelevant. Let's be honest. Dylan Brown with a 17 playing hooker. Yeah. Good luck, Knights. Tago with a 99. Alamotti 88. Cleary with an 82 off the bench. Man, I'm going to quickly go over towards the back end of the pod around what's going to happen in regards to Hughes or Cleary to Hines, because they both look so good on the weekend. They both turned up. It's going to be an interesting discussion between content creators around who is going to be the clear out and out choice to go from to Cleary. So that's going to be really interesting, because 82 off the bench. That try was very good that he scored there late in the game. So Lindsay Smith was 78. Casey McLean, man, 70 points. If you want a decent pod for the run home, I would be looking very carefully at Casey McLean, 570 points. That's 70 points that he just scored. If you were to go over his last few scores since round 13, 82, 84, 62, 44, 70. At 570k with the Panthers draw, I'm just going to say have a little eye on him and play him on matchup. Yeah, other than that, not much doing. Warriors and the Tigers. Dewey decided to go back to like fucking 2021 form with 110. Terrell May, 57. I think we're finally going to start to see the effects of what happens when you play a front row forward 80 minutes every single game. Yeah. 57. I don't even know. He played pretty rubbish minutes for his standard. How many minutes did he play? I'm pretty sure it was like sub 60, or maybe it was like around 60. Give me one sec. He played... So, yeah, 63 minutes, sorry. So, 63 minutes for a 57. So, it might just be a case of just pulling back on him a little bit. But, yeah. I wouldn't be captaining him for the rest of the season. Condolences to those who did. I know that like 15% up the top 1% captained Terrell May for his lowest score of the season. So, yeah, that stings. Bulldogs and the Cowboys. This was actually a very, very good game to watch. If I was... Man, Peyton was pulling his hair out for the Cowboys, and I could understand why, but you got to understand the Bulldogs are still one of the best teams in the comp, and the Cowboys are far from that. So, to only lose by 4, it's not a bad shout. Preston with a top score of 67 for the Dogs. Carraz with a 53, down by his standards. That was a weird injury for Burton. It looked like he got knocked out cold. Like, not knocked out cold, but it looked like he was like... He just had like 40 beers in the space of like a minute. And yet they cleared him of a concussion and he came back on. But apparently it had something to do with like his shoulder or something. I mean, I've never injured my shoulder and acted like I've just been knocked out. So that was a weird one. The rest of the boys, not much doing. Drinky with a 49. Nanai 57. Nanai's a sneaky pod if you got the balls to do it. Dearden with a 62. He's another sneaky pod. Murray Tuolagi. How's the Cows draw? Like, let's just think about this for a second. Like, he's got the Dolphins, Dragons. He's got the Dolphins at league points at Suncorp. He's got the Dragons at league points at home. He's got the Sharks at league points. He's got Parrot at league points. Knights. No Lucas now. No Lucas, no Sharp, no Ponga. Then he's got mate. Oh. That is a very interesting pod. Very, very interesting pod. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Murray Tuolagi. Righto. Yeah, not much doing. Dragons and Roosters. Man, again. It's going to be one of those seasons as a Dragon supporter where it's like, we've lost 3 games by 1 point this season. We spent a large majority of this game losing by 1 point and then gave up a shit try at the end. It's so frustrating, man. Like, for a side that has the worst halves in the comp, and we've been riddled by injuries, Couchman brothers, Dylan Egan, Tuipulotu, like, it's going to be a grind. I'm excited for next season. Honestly, as a Dragon supporter, I'm excited for next season. I think they're going to be a lot better than this season, and that tells me that we're going to be winning a lot more. Those 1 point games that we lost this season, which is an extra 6 points, that puts us into the top 6. I think we ice those games next year with a better halves as well. Like, we've got Atkinson coming in from the Sharks. Like, things are going to be looking good for the Dragons next season. Billy Smith decided to turn into like prime Prime Inglis with a 105. I'm glad I held him because he's got a 26 BE. That's going to probably be a negative BE next week. He's about to go up significantly, and I'm going to be looking to turn him into a gun for the run home. Teddy with an 84, had the V on him, but didn't loop. I don't think it would have really mattered too much if I did. Angus with a 53. Man, like Sam Walker's just going to come into his, into his mold a bit more, and I think Angus will come good for the run home. He's definitely due a lot of tries, so I mean, surely Angus starts to go on a little bit of a run. I've plugged him in as a pod. I don't think people are going to be rushing to get him in either. Like with a score of 53, everyone's going to be moving Lucas on to a bunch of others, and I don't think Angus is going to be one of those targets. Yeah, Marky Mark with a 32. I expected him to score a double against the Dragons, especially against that weaker edge. Yeah, not much doing. That's disappointing for Mark's standards, eh? Like, he's been killing it lately, and then he comes up against a weak Dragons opposition and only scores a 32, so... Katoa, man. It's the Katoa Hughes show this year, and this is why it's going to be such a talking point around who to go to from Hughes and Cleary, because when Hughes clicks, Katoa clicks, and like they'll just put sides to the sword, and it's just going to be a matter of like what the Storm's draw is like in comparison to others. And I think like if you were to have a look at the Storm's draw, it's actually pretty good. Like they've got Manly this week at home, which leak points. They got the Roosters at home. The Dragons just put 24 on them. Then they got Para. Then they've got Broncos back at home, which there'll be points in that game as well. Then they go into like Penrith at Combank, Bulldogs. So between now and round 23, even round 24, like between now and rounds 23, Hughes is genuinely like a hold. But the thing is like Cleary has such a good draw that it just makes it such a head fuck. Oh man, I've got a lot of thinking to do this week. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be trading Cleary in this week, but I say I'm pretty sure. Yeah, fuck man, it's going to be hard. Bradley with a 64, Grant with a 51. Grant's about to drop a bit of cash, 79. So Grant's probably going to come down to about 550, 560. Good price to grab him if you want to pot against Watson. Yeah, not much doing there. The Knights, Lucas gone for the season. Massive talking point there because where to go from Lucas. I'm going to flat out say that I'm personally very likely going to be going Lucas to Hudson Young. I've been screaming Hudson Young on this pod for weeks. Hudson Young's going to be the best 2RF for the run home. I don't even think there's going to be a close second. So, Gagai at fullback with a 104. He's going to be highly traded in this week. And yeah, Sharks and Dolphins. Hines with a 137. I was so close to putting the VC on him, but I was like, nah, I don't trust the Sharks. I don't trust a Friday night game with the VC. And 137. Yeah, it's always the case. You go to do something and then you talk yourself out of it and it comes in. So, yeah. Brayley with a 117. He has been absolutely killing it. 117, man. Like, I think that's like his third ton in 4 weeks as a hooker. Oh, no, it's not his third ton. 102, 97, 48, and then this score right now. Like, yeah. Sharks draw is very, very good. I don't mind Brayley over the highly traded in Watson and Grant. I know a lot of people will defend Watson to the day they die, but you're going to be looking for some upside with a favourable draw. The whole idea of SuperCoach. Upside with a favourable draw. Brayley's killing at the moment. Roosters draw isn't that great. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Brayley outscores Watson for the run home. Herbie with a 105. I'm just going to quickly say it right now. That last 5 games, someone out there can double check this for me. That last 5 games for Herbie is the best run of 5 games in Supercoach for a centre of all time. Like, I would love to see if there's stats out there for another player who is playing in the centres that has gone 105, 150, 106, 86, 105. In a centre, 5 games. Yeah. Asako with a 46. He's going to be one to trade out very, very soon. Yeah. That's about it, guys. So we'll have a look at my side and we'll just have a look at what my plans are, because my plans are pretty basic at the moment. It's very likely going to be Lucas to Hudson Young. Then it's going to be a matter of I'm going to nuff either Hubner or Gula to Simpkins, which will give me the funds to be able to go Hughes likely or Hines to Cleary. Just need to figure that out. Billy Smith is going to make a lot of cash. Then I need to go. It's going to be someone up here to Haas. I don't want to overstack my front row because I'll end up complicating myself with sits B starts. But ideally, I want to just run May and Haas for the remainder of the season. Move Tino down into 2RF and have Haas there. So it's going to be hard. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do, but that's going to be one of my plans. And yeah, the rest of my side's pretty good, man. Like JC, Munster, Karaz, Lomax, Mark, Garrett, Karapani, Teddy, Walsh, Drinky. Like I got Walsh in. Like I simply got Walsh in for their draw. So like if you have a look, Walsh's draw's good. Titans, and then they've got Para and Souths. Both next 2 games at Suncorp. So I'm going for upside here, and I'm expecting something out of Reese as a pod. So see what happens. Anyway, guys, that is just about it. I'll be doing a Q&A podcast this week as well. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel. We've just pumped past 1,000 subs, which is really good. Shout out to all you legends that done that. Again, Q&A podcast on Wednesday. Put your questions in the comments. I'll put up a post on Supercoach Central and my page as well for some questions. And yeah, hope it all went well. And I will be talking to you all soon. See yous.